What's up, everybody? I'm Cronocyde, and welcome to episode 14 of CronoCast, a PlayStation podcast. CronoCast is a PlayStation exclusive podcast where I talk with my co-host, Yemi the Ferret, aka Yemi, about all things PlayStation. Yemi, how are you, dude?
I'm doing gobblicious. How are you?
I'm not sure what that means. That means good, right?
It's a sound a turkey makes because
Oh,
it's Turkey Day.
oh, Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, how was your weekend, dude?
Oh, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. How about yourself?
Ah, that was pretty bad, man. I played a game called Real Life. I played the DLC of it. It's called House Painting.
Oh
Pretty
man.
expensive a DLC, I must say. Took me like 25 hours to beat, and I got the platinum. Pretty cool game, pretty realistic. I really like the graphics, but seriously, I painted my house like all weekend. Pretty
That's
hard, man. I feel old right now.
but it looks good though, right?
Yeah, of course. At least the girlfriend likes the colors, which
That's
is
always
always
good.
good.
Yeah.
So, you play anything this weekend? You told me about Beat Sabers. Is that it?
I did play I played Beat Saber on Tuesday. It's
So,
pretty fun.
good music?
I mean, it's electronic pop music, but I don't really care. I'm just playing the game for fun, and it's a fun game, and it's quite the workout. My legs are still sore, and so I gotta remember the stretch next time before I start playing.
Oh, so you went all in there.
I went all in. I started on the easiest mode, but it gets
Okay.
harder fast in the campaign mode. It's fun though. It's great.
So, for people that don't know what Beat Sabers are is actually, can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, you use these two swords. They're different colors each. One's blue, one's red, and you have to slice as close as you can to the center of a block for the maximum amount of points. You have to
Oh,
slice in the direction that the arrow is going, and you have to just get through the song. And if you miss too many, you lose.
so it's a PlayStation VR. So the controls are pretty good, or it's pretty
Yeah, controls.
precise.
I had a little bit of trouble setting it up in the beginning. The floor placement, for some reason, it showed that the floor was in my TV, so I had to just turn off my. I had to close out of the application, and reopen it when I was standing in the location that I wanted it to read me standing in.
Yeah.
But after that, I mean, just a little bit of adjustment on the height, and it was good.
I had small issues with Until Dawn Rush of Blood too. I feel like I was sitting down, but it wasn't like all the controls were pretty weird. That, like you said, the height wasn't good. And closing, or at least like closing the headset and reopening, fix it for me,
Hmm.
but I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, I think just sometimes if the headset's out of the range of the camera, or you're in a weird position when it registers where you're at, it can mess it up.
Okay, okay. So you played anything else, or?
Oh, I played a little game called Monopoly Plus
Oh man.
yesterday, and I got 100% of the trophies in it. There's no platinum. I got 100% of the trophies in it. And really, I mean, the trophies, I just got them all while I was playing in general.
Oh, so it's
And
easy.
I mean, it's not easy per se, but it is, something you can do throughout the course of playing Monopoly.
Okay.
Um, but it's a basic Monopoly game. I think that the rules setup is a little weird because you only have one rule per
Board.
game.
Yeah.
So like when I play with my family or whoever, we have a bunch. We use all the rules. So if you land on go, you get $400, and you get to choose where you can go, or you can choose where to go. You can pass up on auctions, or you get the slots if you don't want them. If you land on free parking, you get the money in free parking. In this game, you can only choose one of those things at a time. So you can either have,
That's
you can have.
weird.
It's very weird. So I'm hoping that they put out a new Monopoly. Like, I guess I'm not hoping to put out a new Monopoly game, but if they put out a new one, they better make it so that you can have all the things happening at the same time, because it's a little bit annoying, because it's like when I don't have land on go to get $400. I never, I land on go when I don't have it on, but when I do have it on, oh, I'll land on there once in the game.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I'm on a 2-game winning streak against my friend, and it was a blast. And I was like, I might as well just finish this game off, and I did.
So you can play online probably, right?
Yes, you can play online, but no one plays it, so you have to do like a private match. Or
Yeah.
else you'll never find anyone.
Okay.
And the nice thing
That's
is,
cool.
one of the last trophies you have to do is like the win a game against 6 people. What you can do is you can make it, you can have one controller for 6 people, and you can just have them all go bankrupt,
Oh man.
and you
Okay.
can get the trophy.
That's
So,
grindy a little bit.
not really.
No?
No, because all you have to do is you set it up. There's 6 people in the lobby, including yourself,
Okay.
and after their turn, you can tell them to go bankrupt, and that's it. You press R3 to go bankrupt, and that's all she wrote.
Oh, okay. So you can give up basically any time then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Like if you have to pay like 1,200 rent, like my friend did yesterday, and he just decided to go bankrupt because he was like, I'm not wasting my time deleting all my houses, deleting my hotels, mortgaging my properties.
Like real life. Exactly like real life.
Yep, you end up in a barrel.
All right. So the only game I played this week, well, that's not true. I played some Nintendo Switch games. Yesterday I played Mario Odyssey on stream, but the only games I played because I was so tired from painting was Halloween Forever. I finished the game, my first playthrough basically, with the crazy, like the one that shoots cats, which is really easy to finish a game with.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm planning to platinum the game for sure, but I feel like some of those trophies will be pretty hard, man.
Yeah, I haven't gotten too much legwork done in it recently.
It's pretty cool to play on the Vita, though.
Is
Just
it?
before going to bed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that's awesome.
the leading doctors say not to look at bright screens before going to bed.
Yeah, no. I'm doing it all the time and I can sleep in like 2 minutes, so I have no problem with that. No problem.
Okay.
All right, so let's go. Let's start the show, man. Shall we?
Yeah, let's roll it.
All right, so the CronoCast is recorded each and every week on Wednesdays and dropped on YouTube, on my channel, on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The podcast is divided into several segments: news, new releases, topic of the show, trophies, question from the listeners, PlayStation memory. We talk about the whole game, all sorts of things. So the first news of the week is for the game The Walking Dead. The works is restarting. So basically the old developers of the game, since Telltale Games closed down, some were worried that the game was cancelled too, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So many of the talented, passionate team members who originally worked on the game are resuming development efforts today. Not sure if they're getting paid though. That's not clear.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I guess that's cool for the fans of the games and the one that bought the season pass too. They will get an ending to the game and to the series. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it's good. Yeah, I hate to wait all that time just to have like a stupid ending.
Yeah, like a rush ending.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope
guess
that they're
you're
getting
right.
paid. I mean, I guess it's more of a passion project at this point, but you would hope that they're getting some sort of payment for their services.
Yeah, but yeah, there's passion and there's also like bring food to the family and stuff like that. So I'm not sure, man. Yeah, I haven't thought about it before, but I guess you're right. It might be super rushed and super short and a shitty ending to the whole series. But
Hey, if this works out, Skybound Entertainment might have new life in their gaming development. So we
yeah,
could be
that's
getting
true.
more games like this, or they're going to be continuing that trend of episodic gaming. Who knows?
So Skybound will probably pay the developers of the game, right? I guess.
I would think so. I would
Yeah.
hope so.
So it will be a much smaller team. So that's why I'm hoping it's not too short. But at least we get an ending, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. The next one is a rumor that Sony to announce release dates for Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, and Dreams. Dreams, Yemi, Dreams.
Oh boy.
At the Game Awards show, which will take place on December 6th, if I remember correctly. Usually Sony don't have a lot of big announcement. I can see why though they want to release like PSX is cancelled. We're getting in the next couple news is Sony is not going to E3 2019 too. So I think there's not enough news to announce. So they cancel pretty much their big shows, but they still have like a couple news to announce. So I guess the Game Awards show is a pretty good place to announce those types of games.
Yeah, we'll definitely raise some eyebrows, I would say.
Yeah. Release window for Death Stranding. I don't believe it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm pressing square on that one.
And Ghost of Tsushima and Dreams, I guess it's much safer bets. Right?
I would think so. Yeah, because those games look like they were, well, at least Ghost of Tsushima looked like it was just it was getting done with its development cycle at E3 last year or this year.
Yep, they showed a big gameplay demo in last E3. It was absolutely amazing. I still have reserves for this game though. I'm not all in yet on Ghost of Tsushima. I think it's already been done. The setting's already been done a couple times now. Japanese setting is like not my forte. I'm not sure why. But the games look good, and the developers are really competent too, and Sucker Punch. So yeah. I have a hope for sure. It's gonna be good.
Me too.
It's gonna be good. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good. But Dreams, though, is it gonna be good?
I don't know.
That's a big interrogation point right there.
That is a wait and see.
If the this game it relies so much on the community and the fact that people will build some levels in the game. If the online is dead, the game will crash. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Dreams. All right. So this one is a little bit weird. The lack of subtitles in Spyro. Have you noticed that? First of all, are you dying, Yemi?
I think I need a bottle of water.
Okay, go get it, man. We're not cutting that.
I'll get it. Oh yes, so keep going. I already read the article.
Okay, I'll fill the blank. Oh, he's already gone. Okay, so filling the blank. The lack of subtitles in Spyro Reanimated Trilogy is a result of no industry standard. So, lack of subtitles. I feel like subtitles should already be in all the games because I'm using it in all the games. English is not my first language, so I really freaking like having subtitles in my games, in my movies when I'm watching movies in English. I feel like a lot of my friends really like subtitles, and even like Americans like me, I'm pretty sure is putting some titles at least when he's streaming or something like that. So I'm not. It seems like a lazy freaking job, man. I feel like this game has been rushed a little bit at the end of the cycle, and they just decided to cut the subtitles. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I feel like subtitles should be pretty much in like pretty big language, all the languages out there, like Spanish, French, English, and even like the other language, which I'm forgetting right now. Yemi, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually use subtitles for big games like Red Dead and Spiderman because there's a lot of things that happen in the background that you don't really hear.
Exactly.
With Spyro, I didn't notice it because I didn't have them on. Well, I can have them on, but I didn't look for it to even put them on. But that's a big mistake because there's a lot of gamers out there who have hearing problems, they're playing in a different country, and if you don't speak English, and you can't hear, you're not going to have a lot of fun with this game now, are you?
No, exactly. And like the story in Spyro are quite simple, to be honest, and I can understand the fact that they thought that it wasn't like necessary to have subtitles in the game. But like I said, the first time I'm like booting a new game is going into the options and checking if there's subtitles and putting them on. And most of the games now are already on by default too. Yeah, that's a huge overstep. Overstep?
Yeah, oversight.
Oversight, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yep.
Yeah, and
That's
also
weird,
you can't.
man.
I guess you would kind of blame Toys for Bob, not like Sony, but more maybe Activision. Maybe Activision pushed it too much. Who knows?
Yeah, but they wrote the script. They wrote the script. I mean, how much work could it be to have subtitles?
I'm sure after this they're gonna update the game next, within a few days, and we'll get subtitle options.
Sure. I'm not understanding why this game has so much bad press, man. Just before the release of the game, and it seems like motion blurry. Is that the term?
Motion blur. Oh my god, is awful in this game.
Yep.
And there's no option to turn it off. It's bad.
Yep.
I mean, that's bad. Not the game's bad, but the motion blur is just. Motion blur always makes everything look so ugly because it's like it's going by so fast. Right? It kind of hurts your eyes. Yep. Yeah. Yep. I would love to have the option to turn it off like in Uncharted.
Yep, exactly. And I played Uncharted 4 like halfway through, and I was noticing something weird about the game, and I was not sure what it was exactly and why. And I checked the option, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't there like day one. I think they patched it. But
yeah, they did patch it in.
Yeah, I played like a marathon at the beginning of day one of the game, and something was bothering me, but I didn't know what it was exactly. And yep, it was the motion blurry, man. Motion blur for sure. Yeah. It's really, really hard on the eyes.
It really is. I don't know why developers put it in. It's not like it makes it better. It always makes it worse.
Yeah, for sure, man. Totally agree with you. So subtitles incoming probably in Spyro.
Yep. I'm calling it this time next week we'll have subtitles.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so Black Friday is coming up. I'm pretty sure you know about this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my friend actually already bought one on Amazon.
Talking about the PS4 Spiderman bundle.
That is it.
$200, man. In Canada, it's 250, if I remember correctly. But this is low, man. This is really low for PlayStation 4 with Spider-Man 2. This is a freaking amazing. And the PSVR is also $200. So if you were on the fence on buying a PSVR, PlayStation 4, this is the time. It's not going to be lower than that, I'm pretty sure. That's the best price I've seen.
Yeah, it's a good price. Definitely worth it. The bundle with Spider-Man. I mean, regular PS4 consoles don't have any games with them. You can get Spider-Man and the PS4 Slim. It's a good deal.
Yep, that's for sure.
Deal Player 2. It's a
Are they do they have like Black Friday in UK? Probably, right?
They were trying to get going there. I don't know if it's actually like a big thing. I remember watching like a video a while back, and like it was Black Friday in the UK, and there was like 3 people walking into the store on Friday morning.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty big in Canada too. Since online too, I feel like in stores it's less busy for sure. But
it wasn't last year. Let me tell you that much.
Oh, for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Americans are different, right?
A little bit. I think people like the glamour of going out and rushing to get what you want and
eating people in the face and crazy Americans.
That is one store out of millions. Okay.
Okay. But that's the video I saw, man. Videos never lie.
They're fun to watch, especially when like the woman steals a toy out of the little girl's hands and there's a big rumble starts
in Walmart and stuff like that.
Luckily, I've never seen any of that where I live, but that's definitely more towards the area with like. I feel like it's with higher income families because like those people don't look trashy. They're in there and they're grabbing things. I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Maybe it's in big cities too, because in Canada, we're pretty nice people, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like we don't like pass in front of each other's.
You get your frustrations out with hockey.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hockey. But I feel like it's only in Montreal, maybe in Vancouver too. Edmonton, yeah, pretty much all Canadian teams are pretty passionate about hockey. That's for sure. That's true. But we have like big lines, but it's straight lines. You know what I mean?
Orderly.
It's not a bundle of people like trying to get first. We are nice people in Canada. Well, you are nice too. Like, and the Americans are usually pretty nice, but I feel like all the Americans in Black Friday they just forgot. They forget, right?
they see a good deal and they can't contain themselves. Their true selves emerge.
And
People's true selves emerge in the McDonald's drive-through line. I'll tell you that much.
oh, that's crazy too.
You won't believe how many people will cut you in that line. If it's a dual one, oh, it's awful. I get mad every time.
What's a dual one?
So, okay, this will show America's fatness. Our McDonald's drive-throughs have 2 lanes,
Okay.
so they can do double the people.
Yeah,
And
we have that
people will actually go around the cars waiting in line and edge into the second line before someone can get there.
Oh, I understand what you mean.
I blatantly had a woman do that didn't do that to me, but I had already finished ordering, and you know how you're supposed to merge, and merge is one car, then the next car,
Yep.
car, then the next car. Well, this lady wasn't having that. She ordered 1 coffee, and she had to get it now. So she cut me and almost hit me. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, it's McDonald's.
And it's a freaking coffee, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. We have free coffees on Friday too on McDonald's.
Oh, well, see, if they did that here, I mean, it'd be Black Friday every Friday.
Oh, okay, you can do that, right? You can. You can do that.
We don't get free coffee every Friday, but if they did do that, like I'm saying, it would be Black Friday at McDonald's every Friday.
It will be chaos, man.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos for coffee.
They run out of coffee. Highways would shut down. Mr. Trump would do a state of emergency. I mean, it'd be awful.
Okay. Like I can understand that because this is not the way I was raised, right? But I'm not going crazy over some stuff or. No, I'm usually pretty nice and pretty patient with pretty much everything.
Right. Yeah, me too. I just like to go out and see the chaos a little bit, like see people.
Yeah, laughing.
I like it's cool to see like store shelves empty because it's like you never see them like that.
Yeah.
So like when all the Toys R Us were shutting down, I just went in and I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. I've never seen it like this before.
Yeah. We still have Toys R Us, by the way. It didn't shut down in Canada, actually.
Well, that's just crazy.
Yeah. They were in trouble, too.
Oh, well. I mean, they're supposedly coming back in America anyways. They haven't even taken down the sign from the one that's where I live.
They're supposed to come back? That's crazy.
Yeah, they went bankrupt and now they're coming back because that's what companies do.
Okay, that's weird. All right. Let's continue with the show. So, like I said, the PSVR bundle will be $200. That's a pretty good deal. The Super Hot and Creed, which got pretty mixed reviews, I think, is $50 more, but with the PlayStation Move controller, so it's still a pretty sweet deal. So if you want a PlayStation, we both love PlayStation VR, by the way. Mm-hmm. There's some limitations in the technology, but not enough to be a deal breaker. I haven't played a lot. Yemi have to played a lot of PlayStation VR. My next title will be Resident Evil 7, and I cannot wait, man. I just cannot wait. All right, so God of War wins big at the 2018 Golden Joystick Awards. Multiple awards for Kratos. Well deserved too. So you have the list right now on the screen. Best storytelling, God of War. Of course, best competitive game. You got it?
Fortnite.
Yeah. Best cooperative game, Monster Hunter World, which is I saw a lot of people playing this. Not sure about the game. I'm on the fence on this one. But people seems to be enjoying the game. Best visual, God of War. Best indie game, Dead freaking Cells.
Wow.
This is on my list for Game of the Year so far too.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love this game, man.
Sneak peek
to the last show of the year. So a lot of Elder Scrolls, the Skyrim VR, best VR game Skyrim too.
What? What?
Yeah, that one was weird.
This list is void. It's done. Nope, I don't believe it.
Best performer is Connor from Detroit, which had pretty good voice acting, I feel like. Studio of the Year, Santa Monica with God of War. Best new streamer, well, that doesn't make sense. Mobile Game of the Year doesn't make sense. PC, nobody cares about that. PC game is dead. PlayStation Game of the Year is God of War. Xbox is dead too. Nintendo is not dead. Octopath Traveler. Most Wanted game Cyberpunk.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird list.
Oh, do you see the last one?
Ultimate Game of the Year Fortnite. Ultimate Game of the Year.
Who
Fortnite.
called it last week? Who
Yeah.
called it?
Yeah. But what's that? What is the Golden Joystick Awards? Is that official things for the Game of the Year? No. Is that it?
But did I not say it would be on a
On
game
a
of the year?
list?
Mhm.
Yeah, you said that. You said that.
I'm
But
sick of Fortnite.
it depends on what you think is the best game of the year. If you think that the best game of the year is the game that everybody played the most, it's Fortnite for sure. Right?
I mean, we could probably look at the numbers on that one.
You don't think so? What do you think of?
It probably is.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. But yeah. It's always divisive, like those types of lists anyway, so
Well, if every game was free, then I'm sure it would be a little bit more competition. But since Fortnite is free, it's hard to compete
Yeah.
with a free game.
yeah, that makes sense too. I'm grabbing Detroit too Friday for $30.
Yes,
Cannot
me
wait
too.
to play this game. Have you played it?
No, I'm gonna get Rabbit. Grab it
What does that mean? You
on Black Friday. Gonna grab it on Black Friday.
it will be like $20, something like that.
Yeah, it'll be around that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal, man. You gonna stream it?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a pretty good game to stream actually, and interact with the viewers.
Could have people choose things for me.
Yeah, exactly. And
Hey, kill everyone.
yeah, exactly. This is what I was gonna say. If you have any in the chat, watch out, dude. Watch out. I'm gonna kill everyone. That's for sure. I'm gonna fuck up your game save, man.
Yeah.
All right. So, Beastly PS5 dev kits in the wild, but not due until 2020. So, basically, if there's dev kits out there, it means that developers are already testing their games on the dev kits. Dev kits usually go around when the console is almost ready, or at least like the technical aspect of the console is already like all set. So it's a big sign that the PS5 is coming, man. Maybe not next year. 2020 seems safer for sure.
Yeah, that was my prediction, and I think it's gonna come true.
2020 was your prediction, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're gonna announce like next E3 or whatever. They're gonna announce like this is the PS5 and this is how it works and this is what it does and this is gonna be the day one release game, and then it's gonna come out in 2020.
That might be like linked to the next news too, which is Sony confirms that zero E3 2019 presence. So they will share new plans soon. What does it mean though? I was thinking about this today, but what does it mean that Sony is skipping 2019 E3? It's one of the first time they skip E3 too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what that means.
Since they canceled PlayStation Expo this year.
Yep.
I'm guessing they're gonna just go all out for PlayStation Expo with PlayStation 5 shit everywhere. It's just gonna be PlayStation 5 plastered everywhere. That's what I'm guessing. They're gonna skip E3, generate all that buzz and all that rumor, and then they're gonna pow right in the kisser. They're gonna get you.
Yep. I saw some numbers too a couple months ago, and E3 lost a lot of not presence but cachet, I would say. Lost a lot of viewers. It's not as big as before, I feel like. But it's gonna open the gates for Xbox and their new announcement, and maybe even like Nintendo is doing just releasing a video. Like they could do that too.
They could do that. That's true.
And
after last year's debacle with changing stages and stuff like that, I would probably bet they're gonna go for a simpler experience.
Yep, that's for sure. And yeah, E3 last year of Sony wasn't good too. They pretty much dropped the ball. I was so disappointed. And they didn't have like a lot to announce basically. So maybe that's why they skipped this year. And it's freaking expensive too to go to E3, especially for a company like Sony. So maybe they prefer to just do their own things and do their own show and just have the spotlight to themselves, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm disappointed, man. I'm always looking forward to E3, and now that Sony won't be there, I will be watching like the Nintendo Direct. But that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, just read up on whatever else all the other developers did.
Yep, exactly. And Microsoft sometimes have like a lot of big news, like for AAA games that will come to Sony consoles too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I will be watching the big titles, but won't be like watching all day like I used to do when Sony's there.
Yeah.
All right, so this is your segment, dude. The
This is
Ferret's
it.
drop. What did you pick
All
this
right.
week? Not a
on the
big
Ferret
week,
Drop,
right?
we got a few big games coming out and a few indie games that I wanted to talk about. First things first, though, let me just say now on Steam, this isn't PlayStation news, but this is getting close to PlayStation news. We have that game we were talking about last week, Sunset Overdrive, is officially released on Steam. So the next step could be PlayStation. Could be.
It could be, I guess. I find it hard to believe, too. I'm not sure. You might be right. I'm not
Maybe.
like, I don't know all the small details between the deals between Insomniac and Xbox and Microsoft, but I find it hard to believe, man.
The one thing I find interesting is that Sunset Overdrive isn't being released for computer on the Microsoft website like all their other exclusives are, like, you know, the pirate game and a few other games that I can't remember right now. I can't think of the names of. They are all released on the Microsoft website, while this one is being released on Steam. Now, that other game that came out exclusive for it, I think it was like Indigo Prophecy or something like that. That also is released on Steam and hasn't been ported to the PlayStation yet. But I think Sunset Overdrive has the best chances of getting onto the PlayStation. Now, I already bought it on computer because, you know, I love the game and I just wanted to play it because I don't have an Xbox. But, you know, I'm betting it's going to come to the PlayStation. I don't have money down on it, but I would be willing to bet that it will come to PlayStation soon and or next year.
Yeah, for sure. The Pirates game you're talking about is probably Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves. That's
and Indigo Prophecy is already a PlayStation game, dude. You're talking about Quantum Break.
Well, yeah, that's what it's called, Quantum Break.
I just want to put it out there. You know what I mean? That you're wrong.
A little bit.
A little bit. It's all right.
All right, we'll put it in the wrong column.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a huge comment in the comment section. I will say with timestamps all the time that you were wrong in the podcast. What about that, man?
All right, I'm writing down the time right now. I was wrong. All right, so first up, we have Achtung! Cthulhu Tactics.
That's much better than that wouldn't. Yeah, that's a hard title to say.
That's because it's a half German, half English.
Yeah, and Cthulhu once again.
Yeah, Cthulhu coming out.
Cthulhu, yeah.
He's very popular. But I know how to say Achtung because in every Call of Duty game that was World War II and every Medal of Honor game, that's like one of the first things they would shout when, you know, you come at them, and it's like Achtung, Sie keine Gedeihsten, you know.
Oh my God, you're so good at this, man. You played way too much Call of Duty, man.
Americana. Steamed. All right. Anyways, Achtung! Cthulhu Tactics is a turn-based tactical strategy game set in World War II. You fight Nazis with guns, explosives, and Cthulhu. You direct a squad of allied heroes. It's a story-driven game with a campaign in which you encounter unspeakable evils, and you harness the power of the ancient light. Battle through missions from stealth to bullet storms. This game looks really interesting. Rip Yummy, I got denied on the key mailer for this game, but I think it looks really cool. And I normally don't like the turn-based strategy like this, where, you know, you kind of position your character and you shoot from cover and blah blah blah. But this might be a game that I might look at if it comes on sales.
Oh yeah, man. Totally not my type of game, but they denied your key request.
Oh, they did.
They didn't like most of the time. I don't get denied. I just don't get response at all. But the denying is a rare occurrence, I would say.
Yeah, I can confirm that denying is is real, and you get a big red mark next to
Yeah,
the game, and it says denied.
with no reason.
No reason at all, just denied.
Okay. Well,
But anyways,
good luck with the game then.
yeah, I'm sure bigger people got it.
Yeah,
People
maybe.
much more popular than me.
Okay. Don't be sad. It's
But
gonna
let's
work
move
out in
on.
the end.
Well, let's move on from Achtung to another World War II game called Battlefield 5, aka Battlefield V. And this game has been getting a lot of mixed reviews so far, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
waiting for a sale on this one as well because I really like the Battlefield series. Battlefield 1 was pretty good, and this one, the beta was just like eh. And all the recent reviews are saying it's kind of like an unfinished game, kind of like Battlefield 1 was, but worse. So I'm going to be waiting on this one. But hey, you can enter mankind's greatest conflict, which is what they said for World War One. So I don't know why they're repeating themselves, but this is the greatest conflict. This is World War Two. Battlefield's going back to its roots. Their first game was with World War Two.
Yep.
Of course, I played it religiously back when I was a kid. This game has multiplayer and single player, and the single player is called War Stories. It probably goes through the game kind of like it did in Battlefield One. Hopefully, it's a more fleshed out campaign. But hey, this is all out Battlefield multiplayer. Drive tanks, go on foot, parachute in, lots of different objective modes to play. Needs a little bit of polish, I think, but I think it could be a better game in the future.
Yep. I heard a lot of negative thing about the camping actually.
Well, Battlefield 1 campaign wasn't that great. Like there was two missions that I really loved, and the rest of it was like, okay, well, I did that. This game might be the same.
I love that all the screenshots that they took and put on the PlayStation Store are all not gameplay screenshots, basically.
Oh, they did the same thing for Battlefront 2, which was a big controversy back in the day. Oh no, that was with Battlefront 1 actually. They
Yeah.
did not. Yeah, I don't know why the developers do that because it's like really the cinematics in the Battlefield games are pretty close to
The
actual
gameplay.
gameplay.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why they don't just use actual gameplay because it's
Yeah.
like it looks so close, and that's good because not many games have that such a close relation between the cutscenes and the actual gameplay.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. Oh, the next one. Look at that.
Next up is Beat Saber. This is a precisely handcrafted game. The levels are beautiful. You have two sabers in your hands, one red, one blue, as I said, and you have to swipe in the direction that the arrow on the block is pointing, slice those blocks in half, and get some points. Exclusively created electronic dance music for this game, so none of it is copyrighted, as in like big name studios. And this is a futuristic world where you swing your sabers and you cut blocks and you move on. There's a campaign mode, there's a free play mode, and there's also a party mode.
Oh, that's cool.
Leaderboards as well. No downloadable content as of yet, and there is no modding on this game. But that's okay because the game is actually really fun. Make sure you stretch before playing it because your thighs will hurt a lot when you're doing when you're doing these songs.
So yeah.
But
Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. I was done.
I got a question about this game from Eric for President in the comment section last podcast. He was asking for custom soundtrack on PlayStation. There's none, right?
They can't do it. There's just too
Copyrights.
many copyright things to go through, and even though I would love to play a lot of the songs that are in the downloadable library on the Oculus and the Vive, like they have Dance Gavin Dance on there, they have like a bunch of these crazy bands that you wouldn't expect to be on a game like this that are on there, and they're all custom tracks, so the people don't actually own the stuff. They just kind of use the audio and they do the beats to it, which is why it's modding and not officially a part of Beat Saber. But it'd be cool to see some actual songs come over to Beat Saber. Maybe a little All Star.
Yeah. And does
Mortal
the beat is matching like what you're hitting on the screen? Probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
a lot of it has to do with like the rhythm of the song.
Yeah.
When the beats rocking. You're hitting a lot of blocks on the harder difficulties.
So like a little bit like Amplitude, probably.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And the next one I'm super excited about, man.
Yeah, the next one is Bendy. I almost said Binky in the Brain.
Oh my god, that's so far from the real title, man.
You never saw Pinky and the Brain? That
Nope.
was an old '90s cartoon. I guess it was only America.
Do you know what it was called in French, though?
Whatever the French word for pink and brain is.
Oh, it's rose and pink and what? Brain?
Brain.
No, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
it's probably an American. Hey, if you
Yeah.
know what Pinky and the Brain is in the comments, just say what's up, yummy. Pinky here.
Oh, so we'll know exactly who is watching the podcast and listening to the podcast and who's
Yeah,
not.
there you go.
Nice stream.
But anyways,
nice stream.
this is Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yeah.
And this was, I believe, was an episodic game on Steam and stuff like that. But I think they have all the episodes in this one game collection here. But Bendy and the Ink Machine, it's a first-person puzzle action horror game that begins in the far days past of animation and ends in a very, very dark future.
That's cool, man.
There's twists around every corner. It's kind of like the beginning of BioShock, where you only have a wrench at some points. But it's very intense, a very thrilling game. I definitely recommend picking it up. And we went over the trophy list a few episodes ago, so if you want to check that out, I would do so, because the trophies are actually pretty cool in this game.
I love the art style. First of all, it's Rooster Teeth production too. I didn't know they went into the game development, and that might be why it's getting a big push, because Rooster Teeth is a huge company on YouTube and in production and entertainment. So yep, and $20 for the game is pretty low, man.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And actually, the two of the people from Rooster Teeth were on The Amazing Race.
Oh.
They raced around the world, and they got 4th place. So that's pretty good.
Oh, I don't know about that. I only know Rooster Teeth because of Kind of Funny, actually.
I only know it from the Rage videos, where the guy's just yelling at the screen.
Oh, do you know about Red versus Blue too?
Yeah, I never really watched it though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is the first time I saw something from Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, me too, but I didn't know what it was back then, and my friends who were watching it were kind of weird, so I kind of wanted to stay away from it. But
okay, that's a good reason.
But the next game, we're gonna simmer it down a little bit. This is Farming Simulator 19. They're releasing like Madden games. Every year there's a new Farming Simulator game. This is the ultimate farming simulator. It returns with a complete graphics overhaul and the most complete farming experience ever. You will literally sweat and get sunburned while playing this game because it is so immersive.
Okay.
You can become a modern farmer. You can get your farmer's tan. You can eat corn straight off the cob as you develop your farm. And this game is filled with exciting new farming activities like chasing around sheep, riding horses, maybe pulling out an old 6-shooter and doing a gunfight in the middle of the farm. There's new crops to plant, such as marijuana, and new animals added, like Winston Churchill's a pig that looks like Winston Churchill. I made all that shit up.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, dude.
This game is boring, it's stupid, but it's so funny that they keep coming out with a new one every single year. So obviously
it's popular, man.
It sells.
Yeah.
It sells. Maybe it's just for the trophy community, maybe it's not. I don't know.
Nobody knows, but the graphics are kind of beautiful, to be honest. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm just saying.
Do you feel the rays of the sun as you look at these screenshots?
No, I don't feel it.
Do you feel the sweat dripping from your brow?
No, man, it's really cold in Quebec. I don't feel anything, man. It's freaking cold. It was like minus 20 today.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it's freaking cold. And it was we already got like 20 centimeters of snow already.
That's a good amount of cheddar.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, finally here we have Marvel Spider-Man, the next DLC called Turf Wars.
Yeah.
The DLC story arc, The City Never Sleeps, is adding chapter 2. This one starts off pretty much right where the last one left off. I'm not going to spoil anything for the people who haven't played it yet, but this puts you into the middle of a turf war between the Magia crime family and the gang leader Hammerhead. Hammerhead is a little weird in this game. I was expecting him to look a little bit differently, but he's a pretty beastly character. And I've only played a little bit of the DLC so far, but I'm really enjoying it a little bit more than the heist so far. But we get to see the next chapter in this epic DLC adventure. Marvel's New York is becoming a war zone, and you have to try and take down the different gangs in the areas. And like I said with the heist DLC, since the heist DLC was at the bottom of the map, this one is actually at the top of the map. A lot of the stuff going on at the top of the map. So I was correct in that assumption that they were going to do something like that. Screwball is back. There's new safe houses to take over. There's new things to find, and there's a new side mission to discover. So I'm really enjoying my time with it so far, and I hope to play more soon.
That's cool. Does I'm forgetting the game, the name of the developer. What is it? It's Insomniac, right? Insomniac. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do they have a plan regarding the DLCs, like a number of DLCs?
There's 3 chapters to this.
Okay.
This Arcane DLC.
Okay.
So
that's pretty good.
I almost forgot about the last game, which is Titanic VR.
Dude, that's so amazing.
So this is a diving simulator, and it has an immersive interactive story with it as well. You will leave with a greater understanding of this historic tragedy that unfolded in 1912, leading to the sinking of the world's most famous ship, explore an underwater grave, and also discover if the Titanic was an inside job.
Maybe.
2 birds, 1 stone.
It's P2, right? Player 2. You talked about.
I did ask him about that.
Yeah.
Yes. It is my understanding that it possibly could have been. But I also understand what all happened that night with the new documentaries that came up. But this game comes out 11/22, so that is today, Thursday. So discover the mysteries of the Titanic and dive deep into the ocean to discover this underwater boat. I always find...
Wait.
It's a ship. I'm sorry, Cronocyde. It's a ship, not a boat.
No. I was not going to correct you on anything, but it's already synced when you start the game.
I believe you like discover it, and then I think I can't see any screenshots of it, of course. I would bet that you discover it, you kind of can explore it in its destroyed state, and you can also explore it in its alive state.
Alive state. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. In VR, look, this is exactly the type of experience that I like in VR, like casual stuff, not a lot of gameplay, like maybe just exploring. Like I really enjoyed so far, like the Tomb Raider. You're in the mansion of the Croft Manor mansion, and you're discovering like secret paths and stuff like that. There's no like gameplay. There's gameplay, but I mean there's no action, at least so far. And you're just exploring, and it's really freaking immersive and really, really, really well done. So if Titanic VR is well done too, this is a type of experience that I'm gonna jump, and like you can play 1 hour, like learn something on top of it, and just having a great time, man.
Do you find sunken ships really creepy? Because I always...
Dude, yeah.
They creep me out.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple of things that creep me out in terms of like horror movies and stuff like that. In the oceans, that's for sure, always creep me out. And the asylums.
Oh, asylums, yeah.
Yeah, that's for some reason there's so much like in the ocean. There's so much undiscovered things and untold stories. I feel like same thing with the asylums. There's so much stories, so much stuff going on. That's 2 things that really creep me out. Like the whole house and stuff like that. That doesn't scare me anymore because it's always the same stories. But oceans and asylums, yeah, that got me every time, man.
Stay away.
Like the American Horror Story, I think it was season 2. Have you watched it?
I've never watched it. No.
Oh, that's pretty good. I think it was season 3 actually. Yep, that's a pretty good series. If you want to watch it, but it's going downhill now. But the first 3 seasons were really good. If you like horror series, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you haven't watched it.
You know, I haven't watched a lot of things that people want me to watch.
Okay, okay. So next segment, what is it? I'm already lost, man.
It is the topic of the show, my dude.
Oh, topic of the show. I don't have a link though. I don't need a link actually. So topic of the show is we thought we're going to do something different. Usually we have a list and we talk about each games on set topics. Last podcast was superhero. Now we want to have a discussion between two love franchise that came out pretty much in the same era, same year, if I remember correctly, too. At least really, really close together. It's, of course, I saw the thumbnail, it's Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. Both games have their own remakes now. So we're gonna compare the old games, gonna compare the remakes too, and we're gonna say exactly which series we prefer, basically. So how do you want to do that, man? We haven't talked about it, actually.
I know. We're going into this blind.
Completely blind, man.
I think a good place to start is just like the first games in general. Like, you know, the pluses and minuses of both of their first games that came out on the PlayStation 1. Because they're two starkly different games for two different kinds of players. You know, where Crash is more precise jumping and movements, and Spyro's a little bit more casual with a lot more platforming and a basic move set. You know, and both of them are good games. Don't get us wrong, but there is one game that's going to come out on top here.
Yep,
for sure.
For sure. If you know me, you know how much I love platforming games. So Crash Bandicoot always had a special place because it was two things that I really love, which is platformers and art games. Spyro was more for me an open world experience, and I really love collecting stuff in video games too, and there was a lot to collect, and there was a lot of hidden stuff which I really freaking like in Spyro. But it's, like you said, it's more casual for sure. If we are comparing both first game though, I feel like the first Crash Bandicoot is so rough, man. Even like in the remakes, the designs of the levels are really like clunky, and I feel like it's uneven too in terms of difficulty. Like the hardest stage is like in the middle of the game, which is the bridge. I think it's called Road to Nowhere in the original game. And after that, it's really not that hard after that. The boss fights in the first game are not really good. They are really long and clunky. And I feel like the first Spyro hit the nails on pretty much like... I feel like the first Spyro is really well balanced, really stylish, really cute too. So I'm not sure which I would take regarding the first games actually.
Yeah, I think the first game is easy for me because Spyro 1 is just obviously a better game, in my opinion, to Crash Bandicoot. I can take that game as easily as I can snap my fingers. You know, Spyro 1 was funny, it was imaginative. It had dragons in it, which I loved as a kid. And each dragon kind of had its own personality, even though they all didn't talk as long as some of them did.
Yeah.
But they all kind of were unique and different, and some taught you new things. And I felt like Spyro was a good game that kind of built upon what it was doing. So in the first area, there's really not much gliding to do. There's really not much you have to do with, you know, special abilities. But once you get to the farther stages, they start adding in new things gradually. And, you know, starting to add in new enemies that are tougher and in harder placements. And with Crash, I felt like it was kind of a, you know, pretty level game in terms of difficulty. Because like you said, there are those levels that did raise the bar like tenfold. But then most of the game was just like a casual kind of experience. It wasn't like a difficult one.
No.
It's still the jumping's a little bit off still in the remakes, but for the most part, I would take Spyro 1 over Crash Bandicoot any day. Now it's when you start to get to Crash 2 and Spyro 2, that things start to get a little bit more even.
Yep, exactly.
I think because that's a little bit of a tougher fight there, because I feel like Crash 2's levels are pretty solid, and the presentation of Crash 2 is pretty solid up until like the last area. I think I didn't like the jetpack stuff at all.
Yeah, last area is the worst. This is what I was going to say to you. The game is so good until the last world, where I think the second last world, the fourth world, where they're beginning with the jetpacks, and it's really clunky. It's not even fun. I just want to skip those levels altogether. And there was a couple of bad levels too. So I feel like Crash Bandicoot is uneven, and I feel like that Spyro is a pretty uneven game with a normal like difficulty curve. So yeah, I think so. I think it's still Spyro.
Yeah, I do too. Even though Crash 2 up until a point was beautiful, Spyro 2 is still like it has that same thing as the first game. It just has that charm and that imagination. They upped the ante on the jokes, which I really enjoyed. I mean, Spyro 2 is a classic. I can't wait to play through it again. And then you get this Crash 3 and Spyro 3.
This is where it's getting a little bit tricky, because I freaking love Crash 3. I feel like they changed the formula a little bit. They got like bonus levels, a lot of collectibles like in the other games. There's the planes level, which are absolutely fun, and there's a lot of different stuff like the cars races, which are kind of fun too, kind of tricky but kind of fun. And all the levels are pretty, like the difficulty curve is pretty good too. It's not too tricky, and don't get me wrong, I love my challenges in the games. I feel like the challenge lies in the time trials and collecting all the boxes, which is totally fine. But for like a younger players or just someone that want to have fun, I think Crash is one of the best platformers out there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Spyro 3 is also pretty good, but it's more of the same, right?
Yeah, it got a little monotonous during 3. I felt like they didn't really change much of anything. Like, it was fine from 1 to 2 because they changed just enough to make it a unique experience. But 3 came along, I just didn't feel like it would really up the ante at all.
Yeah, I didn't raise the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are we comparing the remakes?
We can after we talk about which one went down the fastest, because there was a huge decline in the quality of both Crash and Spyro games once the PlayStation 2 came around.
Yeah, so Crash Bandicoot went straight to hell. I feel like the first PS2 game were not too bad.
The Wrath of Cortex was actually pretty fun.
Exactly.
If I remember correctly. I think that was the only one that I really enjoyed on the PlayStation 2, and the rest of them just kind of, they went off the wall a little bit.
Yep, exactly. After that, there was Twin Sanity and games that were really freaking bad. And after that, the series died for like 10 years or something like that. I haven't heard anything about Crash Bandicoot, but Spyro lived on through Skylanders after that, which is bad too, I guess. Like, I played pretty much all the Skylanders with my son. They are not bad games by any means. They are pretty fun games, actually. But this isn't the Spyro that we love, right?
No, and they changed like the design of Spyro going into the PlayStation 2 era as well. He kind of got weird looking, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was towards the end of the PlayStation 2 era. Like, he didn't look cute anymore. He looked just weird.
Yeah, I don't really remember the Spyro games after the third one too. There was a couple of Game Boy Advance games that I remember. They were pretty bad. It was like a platformer games. So there was more Spyro? Is that what you're trying to say?
There was a lot more Spyro. They kind of dumped them out
look at
on
that.
The PlayStation 2, yeah.
Look at that. Okay. But I haven't played them, so I cannot judge them, but it's Activision, so I guess they were pretty bad too.
Yeah. Just like Crash, it kind of went downhill after like the first one on the PlayStation 2. And
so it's pretty even in terms of after the original trilogy,
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty even.
Okay. So let's jump into the remakes then?
Sure, yeah.
So remakes, Crash Bandicoot, not a lot of difference between the remakes and the original trilogy. I feel like the controls change a little bit, but not enough to like break the game or even change the gameplay at all. Pretty high quality remaster, exactly what we wanted. Not a lot of complaints about the remaster too. Pretty on point. Spyro, I didn't play it, so maybe you can talk a little bit about it.
Hmm. Yeah, the Spyro remakes are beautiful, and it is just like the Crash, like you said. Like it's an exact replica of what the game was. Most of the controls are similar enough that you won't have too much of a problem. Of
Okay.
course, they added the option to use the DualShock 3, or I'm sorry, the joysticks, because Crash when Spyro originally came out, it was all on the D-pad, I believe.
I think so,
Uh,
man. I think
so
you're
yeah,
right.
they added that support, luckily. The weird thing is, just like we said earlier, they added that motion blur in the game. So when you're turning your camera, I mean, the game just turns into like a blur of nothing, and it just looks really ugly. But when you're just standing there or you're doing things that don't require a lot of movement, the game looks beautiful. And they really, really need to take out that motion blur, because right now with the blur in the game, it's definitely below Crash Bandicoot for me, because
Yeah.
Crash was just so beautiful and a lot better.
Yeah.
And I guess they really couldn't do motion blur in Crash Bandicoot because there's not enough like camera movement. But really in Spyro, they definitely should have just axed that idea as soon as someone brought it up, because it makes the game look like garbage, really.
Yep. Um, it's worth noting that it's not the same type of games, so it's not the same type of remakes too, of remaster. I feel like Spyro are way harder to do than Crash Bandicoot. I don't know if you agree with me. It's more bigger, it's more open world, there's more stuff to do. There's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
mechanics, there's
Hmm.
cameras.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. It is more difficult to do a Spyro game, which may be why they kept motion blur in, just to kind of eliminate some time. I don't know.
Yep. Um, I feel like Spyro is way easier to fuck up basically than Crash Bandicoot. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Crash Bandicoot, you just have to nail the mechanics, and after that, it's just a matter of remaking a game that is already done. And it's worth noting too that Crash Bandicoot had a special DLC for the third one and for the first one too, and both DLCs and both levels were free, which is absolutely amazing, especially
Yeah.
from Activision.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Yep, that's for sure. So basically, what would you pick between the two if you had no choice but to pick one?
I mean, I definitely would pick Spyro over Crash Bandicoot, even though I have some quarrels with the remake on Spyro's end. I always had more fun playing Spyro because it was an open world adventure. It was an adventure to be more so than Crash Bandicoot, where you go from level to level, jumping and spinning. I
Yep,
also like dragons. I like dragons a little bit more than bandicoots.
yep. I'm still thinking about it. I freaking love Crash Bandicoot. I almost got all the platinums in all three games. I freaking love Crash Bandicoot, but I'm going from memories, my good memories of Spyro. I think I would pick Spyro too, just because I feel like it's more open world and there's just more to do in the games. It's a little bit more longer too. And I feel like there's a lot of rage too in Crash Bandicoot, especially in terms of time trials. Like in the first game, I had a lot of fun playing the games casually, but I don't remember having a lot of fun doing some of the time trials though. So yeah, I would pick Spyro, but I freaking love Crash Bandicoot. I would still pick Spyro.
There we go. It is decided.
It's decided, but I'm sad a little bit because I love Crash Bandicoot. But you
Yeah.
gotta pick, right? You gotta pick. That's
Yeah.
the topic of the show. You gotta pick.
You gotta pick, and like I said at the beginning, it's like Crash is still a great game. Like I don't, it's not like I hate it, but I do think that Spyro has an edge over Crash in terms of one, in terms of the comedy in it, two, in terms of the controls and just the overall aesthetic of the game, and three, I mean, you can't knock dragons. Like
Yeah, and there's a lot more story in the Spyro games. I feel like too, even if it's not like triple A like story, it's like more
I,
cartoonish and more like
right.
light-hearted. But
hmm
yeah, Crash Bandicoot story is kind of bad to be honest.
But I do like the Crash Bandicoot villains a little bit more. Like Doc.
Neocortex.
Yeah, Neocortex is cool, and all the like Tiny the Tiger is always was one of my favorite
Yeah.
bosses to fight in the second game, and I think they did a good job with the enemies in Crash. But the ones in Spyro are fun too because they're just like these orc creatures, most
Mm-hmm.
and wizards and stuff like that. So they both have their ups and downs, but I think Spyro definitely has more ups.
Yeah, for sure. I'm planning to buy the game on Black Friday once again. I'm planning like on buying Spyro. I'm planning on buying Detroit and Near Automata.
hmm
Ooh, it's $20 for the disc. Have you played it?
No,
I heard a
I mean
lot
I
of good
played I
things
played
about
the
the game.
demo. I played the demo. I shouldn't say I played the demo, and it's not my kind of game. I don't like
Okay.
the anime type games, the Japanese games
Yeah.
like that. That's not my thing.
Tim would probably love it though.
He probably would.
Yeah.
He has a PlayStation. I'm not surprised if he hasn't already gotten it.
He's playing a lot of mobile games, so I'm not sure if you have a console.
He has a PlayStation. I play with him on PlayStation.
Oh my god. Not sure why he's playing mobile game. Oh, he doesn't have a capture card probably. Yeah,
No,
that's pretty much.
you
Yeah.
can just use the share button on the PlayStation though.
Yeah, he's so dumb, man. Tim is so dumb.
No,
Okay, I'm sorry,
Tim
Tim.
is a
I
very
love you,
smart.
Tim.
I'm sure he's very handsome. Okay, he's a handsome young man.
Yeah, yeah, he's in some.
Very smart. I'm sure that if he wanted to, he could make a delicious Belgian chocolate. Okay,
Yeah, probably. This is all they add to like chocolate.
that's all they have.
Okay, I'm gonna stop because Dimi is gonna jump in the conversation too, and Dimi V Gaming is from Belgium too. You didn't know that?
Oh, I know that.
Okay, you know Dimi, right?
I know Dimmy.
Okay, Dimi is pretty good, pretty cool dude.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. He feels down a little bit because of his views and stuff like that. I just want to hug him and say it's gonna be alright, man. It's gonna be alright, Tim. And Dimi. Belgium is not too bad after all. Alright, let's jump into the trophy segment.
All right.
The first one I took is a Darksiders, and talking about rejected keys, I asked a key on terminal.io and got rejected, but with a nice note.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they said they were sorry and stuff like that. I never played any Darksiders, so I wasn't like bummed out, but it's a pretty big game.
Yeah, Darksiders is pretty big. I don't know. I like after like the initial Darksiders, like I played Darksiders 1 for about half the game and I got bored.
Yeah,
Darksiders 2, kind of the same thing, even though they added like these puzzles and stuff like that. The combat's just too boring in these games for me.
yeah, it's a
So,
hack and slash, but
Yeah.
not on par with God of War and stuff like that.
And usually I like this sort of thing, like the demons and stuff like that, but I couldn't get into this game, so I don't think I'm going to be getting Darksiders 3 until a very good sale, or it's going to be free maybe on PlayStation Plus in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a save bet. I think we got Darksiders the collection on free on PlayStation Plus. Or it's
so
only
far-
2.
I think we've gotten both Darksiders 1 and 2 because I think I have them both on my live.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're not the first person to say that they were bored halfway through. So I guess it's a pretty long game too. I think it's too long. That's the problem with the Darksiders. They're just too long and it's too repetitive, and people are just bored, basically. And it's
Yeah.
freaking dark too. It's always dark. But the third one seems pretty good. I'm seeing power picks too in the recent players, so we already have the game. You lucky
Oh, yeah,
bastard. Yeah. He's already like have a guide, a trophy guide already up.
Probably.
So pretty basic stuff like collectibles. I complete the game on Apocalyptic, which is probably the hardest trophy in the game. It's a gold one. So multiple playthroughs, collectibles. So probably the first playthrough with all collectibles. and all upgrades, and after that you go through apocalyptic in a rush through, basically. Yeah, I feel that's pretty much a path. There you go. You have your trophy guide, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't trust power picks. I'm your source.
This looks like this is a very long trophy list.
Yeah, there's a lot of trophies, man.
Looks like there's a good amount of collectibles and things to get as well.
Yeah, pretty standard, pretty boring. I hate games that have like multiple playthroughs nowadays. I love New Game Plus, but when it's well done, I feel like playing the same game over and over again without any bonus is kind of boring now for me.
Yeah, and having like you start with your already made character is also a plus too, because it's like I don't want to restart the game and restart growing my character, you know?
Yep, exactly.
Dark Souls as a series loves to do this thing where they make you an overpowered beast for the first level, and then they take all your powers away. So I'm hoping they don't do that with this one, because that really annoys me in any game that does that. From God of War, what was it? God of War 2, or 3. You start off with all your powers and you lose them all. Same thing with Darksiders 2. You start with all your powers and you take them away. It's like, come on, don't do that.
It's classic, man.
It's a classic move that annoys the hell out of me.
Yep. I think it's going back to the roots of RPGs too. I remember a lot of old school RPG, like turn-based RPG. They're starting the game with overpowered characters, basically, and you're getting like, you're like level 99 and you're confronting like the final boss of the game right at the beginning of the game, and you get like one hit kill. And after that, you start the story and stuff like that. So it's an old school mentality that needs to stop.
Definitely.
Yeah?
I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. The next one I took is Emerald Shores. It's a pretty basic game, to be honest. I got a free key from Josh, the developer of this game. I think it's a one-man game. It's surfing on the new trend of easy platinums. It's like a 3 hours platinum. I'm not sure how I feel about this though. I'm not sure how I feel about easy platinums. The game is good. The game is not great, but it's still enjoyable. You know what I mean? But yeah, they are. And even like when he sent an email to me with the key and explaining the game, he even said that it's a freaking easy platinum, you should play it. I was like, yeah, they're basing their marketing on an easy platinum, and I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of games that they sell because they advertise as that easy platinum, but are they fun? Usually not.
Yep, this one is not too bad, to be honest. And there's like a remix mode, there's mini games, so the game is not actually too bad. But basing the marketing on the easy platinum might be selling more of the games, that's for sure. But is it okay to do? I'm not sure about that. But you have the choice to buy it or don't buy it. But
right,
yeah, I'm not sure. And like I said, the list is pretty basic. Like I think the developer took like 45 minutes to finish the game, so it's not a long game either. And all the trophies are super easy. So if you want an easy platinum, go for it. I guess it's actually not too bad.
Yeah. No.
Oh, look at that! You were surprised I took this one, right? You don't know what I took? What I picked?
This anime game.
No, it's not an anime game. It's RPG Maker.
Oh, RPG Maker.
So RPG Maker, I think, started in the PlayStation 1 era. I think it was a PC game too. So you basically wrote your own RPG. I haven't taken a look at the game actually. It seems like a more fleshed out from the original RPG makers, and there's a lot of good games that are created through RPG Maker and games like this that you basically create your own game with your own dialogues and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what the community is going with that. Yep. Even I think Deprave on Discord played a game called Metal as Fuck, and
Mm-hmm.
it's made by something like that, like a software a little bit like RPG Maker, and it seems pretty good, to be honest. It seems like an old school RPG, turn-based RPG. So yeah, I'm excited about this, man. I cannot wait. And the truth of this is freaking boring.
Yeah.
It's configured
Play for
total of
50
one.
hours.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the same thing, and achieve 50 hours of total playtime, and boom, you have your platinum.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's an interesting idea, though. Like, I've seen these kind of things on Steam, but I've never really picked them up. It's definitely, if you really want to make a game, I mean, you can. Right here, you can kind of make your own RPG if you want.
Yep, and if you are a good writer and a good artist, you could come up with something really freaking good, and maybe like even like make your first own game, and make a success out of it. There's success coming out of RPG Maker, at least the original one. So yeah, if you don't want to code in Unreal Engine 4 and stuff really complicated, that might be the solution for you, at least to start out.
I'm kind of concerned about the controls, though, on for this game. How easy is going to be to use a controller to do all this?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, man. I should have checked out a little bit of gameplay before starting the podcast. But painting, man, painting is bad for your health, that's for sure. All right, so the next segment of the show is a question from the listeners. Usually, I take three choices. I give them to Yemi, and he's taking one basically. This time, I'm just gonna name the people behind the question, and you're gonna pick
Oh,
one person.
all right.
Kool-Aid Moonwalk, Team Rules. You know Tim. It's coming from Belgium. Player 2. Ah, no, you're gonna take player 2, that's for sure.
You know, I gotta take player two.
I know. So is that your choice?
That's my choice.
Are you
Player
sure?
two.
It might be super
Player
bad,
two.
man.
I don't care. It's player two.
Okay. Okay. So what is your favorite PlayStation series from PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4?
Ooh,
That's an hard one, right?
I gotta really think back to
Okay.
series. PlayStation 2.
So,
3, I can kind of already know, but
okay.
2?
Do you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. PlayStation 2, I have a couple of like favorite series, that's for sure. The one I'm always thinking of, that I had like good memories of, and especially because I was playing with a friend and it was like our series, Xenosaga. Might not be like my favorite of all times in terms of PlayStation 2 games, but in terms of series, I would probably pick that, or the Shadow Arts series, which I absolutely love. Like on the PlayStation 2, the Final Fantasy series is Final Fantasy 10 and 12, which are not the greatest games of all time. 10 is pretty good. 12, I didn't like it a lot. So yeah, I think I would take Xenosaga for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I think I have to say Call of Duty for PlayStation
Oh
2.
no.
That's not PlayStation 2 and GameCube. I mean, I started with the Call of Duty series. It was a first-person shooter, and I really fell in love with them back in the PlayStation 2 era. So
It's all right. It's all right.
I have to pick it because I could pick like Tony Hawk or
Oh, that's good.
Or Burnout, but I played the most on the PlayStation 2. I played the most of the Call of Duty games.
All right. So PlayStation 3.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's my turn. I haven't thought about it. But
Uh-oh.
yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna think about it.
Well, PlayStation 3 is pretty easy for me because all the best Uncharted. Well, I guess not the best, but
Yeah, that was
all three of
yeah.
the good Uncharted games came out there. 1, 2, and 3 are 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's definitely a great series. Uncharted is bellissimo, if I
Yeah.
should say so.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure, man. I was gonna say Metal Gear Solid, but there's only one game, so it's not even a series.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna take Uncharted 2.
All right, yeah.
So PlayStation 4. That's hard because there's
PlayStation
not a
4.
lot of series on PlayStation 4, I feel like.
Yeah, there's nothing really that's gotten like unless you think of Knack, but I'm not I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
Knack
say
is a freaking great choice, man. Yeah, I'm gonna take
no.
no. I'm joking.
Mm,
I'm joking. Yeah, I'm not. I cannot think of one series that I really like. I cannot think of one series at all, actually.
Yeah, I think for this part of the question, I think like what series do you think like what game do you see becoming a series that's like new on PlayStation? Like, we've had Detroit, we've had Horizon, we've had the new Spider-Man, the new God of War versions. I mean, I think the game that has the most or could be a new
Yeah,
reoccurring series that we see. I think God of War has the best chance because of all the awards it's getting, because of all the
yeah,
the great gameplay it has. Spider-Man's close behind, but I think that God of War will come back more and more in this new style. And even though there's not many series on the PlayStation 4 as there were on 3, 2, and 1, I definitely think that 4, is going to be like the start of a lot of new series, like the Horizon Dawn series. Maybe
yeah,
that'll come out.
yeah.
But I think God of War is definitely on the top there.
Yeah, that's for sure. I would take God of War 2. I haven't played a lot of Horizon, which is a shame because I freaking love what I play so far. But
Hmm.
Horizon have a lot of good things going for it too. Two big developers too. God of War, it's already like we already love God of War. I feel like so it's easier to pick God of War
Right.
for the future. Yeah, so God of War for me, man, amazing game. I freaking love everything about God of War, and I love that they keep some of the aspect of the original games too,
Yeah.
while mixing it up with the new style and new RPG elements a little bit. So yeah, God of War is amazing, man. So there you go.
There you go.
There
PlayStation
you
1, what you would say? I'd probably say Spyro for PlayStation 1.
Spyro.
Yeah.
I would take like a freaking like um RPG, like super obscure RPG series. What about that? Like Parasite Eve.
Is
No?
that is it really
Final
a series
Fantasy
though?
7, 8, and 9 is a freaking great choice though. I would pick Final Fantasy for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not even sure why player 2 like skip PlayStation 1. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't know there's a PlayStation 1 because he's young, right?
No, he's I don't want to give away his actual age, but he's older than me.
Why is that a secret or because of the mask?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to, give away his private information.
Okay, okay. But oh, he's older than you, so he's
Yeah,
he's younger than me then.
I believe so.
Okay.
Because you're like 50, right?
Yeah, 51 actually. All right. So the last segment of the show is the PlayStation memory. This week we took a PlayStation 1 game that I actually love, but I didn't expect to love actually because I was a big like metalhead when I was younger. I was going in punk rock shows and stuff like that. So this is totally not my type of music, but a lot of songs from Parappa the Rapper really stuck with me, which was really weird because I was like super young and I didn't like all kind of music at all. It came out in '97, and I freaking some songs were pretty bad, but some songs were super freaking good. And it was remastered on PlayStation 4 last year, actually.
Yeah, it was.
So you played this one probably. Everybody played Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah, it was the first kind of like quote unquote rhythm game, Guitar Hero type game I
Yeah,
played, and definitely blossomed into a beautiful relationship with those rhythm games because it combined the rhythm game aspect, it combined like fast thinking, and also combined memory. And I mean, it's an amazing game.
yeah,
The first level is so iconic because the song's really catchy. You're learning these karate moves from the dojo master. I mean, it's great. It really is a lost series in terms of, because 2 came out and then they never went back to it. It'd be
Yep.
kind of interesting to see what they could do nowadays with all the different things that the PlayStation 4 can do.
And they got a lot of mixed reviews actually. I'm surprised. I thought it was like super well received among pretty much all critics, but it's more like the PSP version, and the PS4 version is like actually like really bad too. I
I
feel
bet
like
I bet they compared it to Dark Souls in their reviews. Oh, this is the Dark Souls of rhythm game.
everybody's comparing Dark Souls with
They compared
everything.
Dark Souls and Spyro. This one guy did. I was like, really?
It's not even the same type of games.
Nah, it's stupid. It really is. But I wouldn't doubt it that someone somewhere in the masses of reviewers was like, Rapper the Rapper is so difficult. It is the Dark Souls of the video game genre. It's such an easy thing to do to compare, games like that. Like, getting your own thoughts together is one thing, but if you could just compare it to everything to Grand Theft Auto or Dark Souls, I mean,
Yeah.
damn, it writes itself.
I did the mistake on one of my videos to compare. I was playing Soul Blight for the Nintendo Switch. It was a clone actually of Dark Souls. It wasn't like super fun, to be honest. It was like the top down view, the
I
classic.
remember.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, I watched that one all the way through.
Yep. So the title I put was this game is as hard as Dark Souls. And I got shit on so bad on Reddit because of it, because I was comparing the game basically to Dark Souls. People like said that the title was clickbait, and once I thought about it, I feel like it was true. So I removed the title, I changed it, I removed the Dark Souls aspect of it. But I really feel like the game was exactly like Dark Souls. This is why I put it in the title, but I totally get why people hate when they are comparing games to Dark Souls, because it's just hard, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that game was, I mean, it was kind of Souls-like. I mean,
Yeah,
because you had permadeath, you had, all this stuff.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. I
yeah,
think
I
it was
guess.
I think it was more fair for you to use it than for someone to compare like Crash Bandicoot to Dark Souls.
Yeah. It was not my intention to actually like clickbait the title. This is not what we do on the channel. But yep, I'll be more careful in the future, that's for sure.
Well, at least you didn't have boobs in the thumbnail.
Yeah, I haven't tried this yet. I should, huh? I will try it for the next Super Mario Maker video. What about that?
Do it.
And talking about let's talk about Parappa the Rapper a little bit more. So the
Sure.
sequel is not called Parappa the Rapper. It's called Unjammer Lammy. It came out 2 years after the original game. Same basic like concept basically. Got a lot of bad on game rankings. Oh, it's actually not too bad. It's in the 80s out of 10, 80% basically. But yep. And after that, there was Parappa the Rapper 2 on PlayStation 2. Came out in 2002 in North America. Exactly the same type of game once again. This one was not well received, and after that, Parappa the Rapper was dead.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty sad, man. There's a lot. But well, I feel like Guitar Hero after that took place, and nobody wanted to play the old Parappa the Rapper, but yeah. So it was a good run, I feel like.
Yeah, Parappa the Rapper was unique enough for it to. I mean, it obviously it didn't get the traction that a lot of the other games did in that era, or the Guitar Hero games did. But I think the concept was unique enough that they could have. I mean, it could have excelled and gone on to be a huge franchise. But I think people just weren't ready for it.
Yep, maybe it was ahead of its time, basically, because
I think
the
so.
songs were really catchy, really, really catchy, and really good, and original like soundtrack too. So yeah, it should have a place in. There's still games like this that is coming out and is working really well. So
I mean, you could Beat Saber is kind of closely related to a Parappa the Rapper. You know, you're pressing, you're swinging the controller in the right direction of the beat. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's like the next step.
And there are modes where the arrows disappear when they come onto the screen. So I
Ooh.
mean, it gets pretty intense.
That's cool. That's cool. So, you want to add anything else for Parappa the Rapper before we close the show?
He's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude. That's
He
your
is.
last line?
That is my last statement. Parappa the Rapper is a good dog. He's a cool dude.
Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for episode 14 of CronoCast, the PlayStation podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much once again, Player 2, for your question and also for being a great dude in the comment section. Really appreciate your support and watching and being an awesome dude all around the place. Don't forget, what?
I didn't say anything.
Oh. Because I'm talking about Player 2 and a lot of
you're
times
hearing things in
you're
your
getting
old age.
excited, right? Getting excited a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you can be part of the show just like Player 2 by asking a question on Discord, on Twitter, on Facebook, pretty much everywhere. You know how to reach us. Where can people reach you, Yemi?
You can reach me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter at Yemi the Ferret, SoundCloud, SoundCloud, and you can also click on my PSN profile, Musketeer.
Yep, all the links are in the description below if you're searching for him. And what is the next game you're gonna stream on Twitch?
I have a pile of PlayStation 2 games here, but I think I'm gonna head back to Scooby-Doo.
Oh, have you streamed it actually?
I've streamed 2 times on Scooby-Doo on Night of 100 Frights.
Okay.
And I'm looking at a part 3 hopefully this week.
Man. I miss them. Because you're starting the stream at like 4 p.m. for me, which is also 4 p.m. for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm leaving for school. I'm leaving to get my kids, so sometimes I'm catching you like 30 minutes, but I feel bad. I want to see like the old school PlayStation games you're playing. For me, it's gonna be Parasite Eve for the next PlayStation game, but next week we're probably gonna play like Super Mario RPG or something like that. So
that'd be cool.
Stay tuned. And we have the community post too on the channel now, so we can interact there. Do you have it too?
Oh no, I don't have it. I just know that you have it.
Okay, you saw it, right?
I was excited for you.
Oh, that's cool. Look at you. Yeah, so we are interacting. This is basically a new way to interact with you guys, the subscribers and the watchers of the channel. So stay tuned for that also. And once again, thank you so much for all the love, the support, and the feedback the podcast is getting. It's really appreciated. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later, guys.